Welcome to another episode of Ballers Union. We got CP at the guard.
Yes, sir.
Smash redid his contract, restructured his contract, and decided to join us, even though it's Black History Month. He over there holding down the paint. And
Yes, sir.
we got me, Gio, filling in the blanks. Goldie took a Kyrie Irving day.
Another one. We got to check his PTO, man.
Yeah. That Kyrie Irving day that means you have no PTO, you have no sick day. You're just saying, I'm just not going to come to work.
He might be following in the footsteps of his favorite player, Harden.
Right. He was probably in the club with Harden. Say over there celebrating the Bucks win, probably.
Tell him don't wear no fat suit.
Right.
Yeah, I know he over there celebrating with Arians.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
that's his favorite coach.
Yep,
loves
Bruce.
He wants him to coach his team any day of the week.
Yeah. Let's get right into it. This episode is going to be basically all Super Bowl talk from the coaches, players, the winners, losers, commercials,
candidates.
Yep, and halftime show. And let me just go ahead and start off by saying Tom Brady's the GOAT. He had a 20-year career. He went to the 2 Super Bowl 10 times, won 7 out of 10. He did, we can't just say it was just Bill Belichick. He went to a whole nother team. And there was a non-playoff team, 7-9. They added himself, Gronk, and cast-off players like Fournette and Antonio Brown. And
cast-off.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have I thought about this earlier since this has been the argument of the week, since it's on all the TV shows and in everybody's chat rooms. So I feel like it's not necessarily that he didn't need Belichick or whatever, but he's been in the league like 20 years, 21 years. So I feel like, and in the early part of his career, that's when he won. And then in the later part of his career, that's when he won. And in the middle, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And so I feel like maybe through years 1 through 6, 1 through 7, he probably did need Bill Belichick. Years 14 through 20 or 19, I guess, wherever you do the split, he didn't. And in between, they just all kind of rode the wave. It was kind of like, I'm out here getting mine. It is what it is. And that's when they didn't win. So early he won, later he won. In the middle, he was just kind of close. So I feel like at some point they both needed each other, but it kind of seesawed, maybe some Benjamin Button type of thing. It was all Bill at first, and then at the end it was all Tom. So I don't think you can have a 20-year career. Basically, his career can vote now and can drink and all that stuff. So I don't think you can go through that with the same year 1 needs and mentality as you have in year 20 and 21. So I've since hedged.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because his first 2 Super Bowls, people don't like to talk about it, but those Patriots defense won those first 2 Super Bowls because at that point, Tom Brady was just Tom Brady was just a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because because the first one when he came in for Bledsoe and all that was all Ty Law and them.
Yep.
Michigan, but
Richard Seymour.
You can't. He's got too many stats to not goat him, and I don't have anybody else to dethrone him from it. I mean, it is what it is. But I think because he's been there so long, and because you can hold him accountable and honest, I mean, it's okay to say, yeah, he's the GOAT, but also like he's not perfect. As long as you're not saying perfect, I think you're okay.
Yeah. No one said he's perfect.
I gotta call him the GOAT statistically, but he is the GOAT. But deep in my heart,
talking about quarterbacks though, or like, are we talking quarterbacks or are we talking?
I just go quarterbacks. I can't say of all time.
I can't either, because there's a receiver who played for a lot of teams and he went to HBCU. There's a running back out of Oklahoma State that was on a bad team, He was pretty good.
Right.
And that
I'm
same bad
just
team
going with
produced
quarterback.
another Hall of Famer. So
yeah, I'm quarterback. I can't even go. Some people trying to go all across the sports spectrum. I mean, you can do it, but I don't like doing that.
That's like giving Terry Bradshaw credit for his rings, even though everybody knows their teams for the Steel Curtain and Lynn Swan.
Right. That's like saying Trent Dilfer's a Hall of Famer because he won one. Yeah.
His team just won one.
Yeah,
Trent
basically.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Accurate.
Yeah, the only person that had an opportunity or a chance to dethrone Tom Brady, missed out on that chance because he lost to Tom Brady in this last Super Bowl was Mahomes because he won his first one so early. And then you can never say he could be the GOAT. For the simple fact, when you had a chance to go against the GOAT, you lost.
So how can you be the GOAT in year 3?
Yeah, you
the
can't.
the first year you were a backup.
No, I said he's the only one. He's the only one that would have had a chance to dethrone him.
No, I mean
he couldn't even dethrone him though.
Yeah, I mean you can say that, but then also Nick Foles dethroned the GOAT. How does that work?
Yeah,
because I mean Nick Foles beat him right in a shootout.
Yeah, Nick Foles definitely beat him in the shootout.
So I mean, is it
Eli
really
beat him twice?
Yeah. So the times that he's been dethroned, if anything, it says Pat Mahomes is too good of a player. He's got to get caught with the okie doke. He's got to get caught slipping, or he's got to have some flukes happen. Russell had him down to the 2-yard line, and we know what happened there. So I don't know about the dethroning. I feel like he's the GOAT. If we're going to call him the GOAT, he's the GOAT no matter what. And thrones are what they are because as soon as Brady retires, it's Mahomes anyway.
Right.
And honestly, even if coming back next year, it's still probably Mahomes. I mean, because if you look, because even if you look at what happened in the game, like he still did like decent. First of all, I didn't realize Mike Remmers was still in the league. Second of all, once I saw that he was the backup to Fisher, I knew they were screwed. Their OL was already kind of shaky. But once Fisher goes down and your backup is Mike Remmers, y'all remember where y'all saw Mike Remmers before?
Mm-hmm.
He was the tackle for the Panthers when Von Miller won MVP for the Broncos in the Peyton Manning Broncos Super Bowl. If you look at those videos, YouTube Mike Remmers, or maybe you need to do Von Miller Mike Remmers, literally on skates. I'm talking about he was moonwalking. I'm not even lying to y'all. Look at the videos of that Super Bowl. Yes, Cam dropped the ball and looked down at it and didn't jump on it and all that stuff. And Peyton Manning threw for like 100 yards the whole season because he was throwing punts. But if you look at Von Miller versus Mike Remmers, it was embarrassing. And so when you see that same Mike Remmers in the same Super Bowl against this same version of Von Miller, which was it was Sue and it was Jason Pierre-Paul and what's the man Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett.
Yeah,
man, he was out there looking like B2K.
And don't forget Devin White was out there pass rushing too.
Yeah, well, if you want to call it, yeah. But the only time Mike Remmers did not give up a sack or give up a pressure was when he got called for holding, when he put one of them in a chokehold. But honestly, they had better luck doing that than they did trying to give Mahomes freedom. He out here throwing backflip passes and like and horizontal passes. And yeah, they dropped some. Kelsey dropped an easy one. Tyreek dropped one that you thought he would have caught. All that happened. So like Mahomes still, even in his bad game, looked kind of good. And if he ever gets anybody that can block for him, it's going to be a problem. So I'm not ready to jump off of the Mahomes train yet. And I'm also not willing to bet that the Bucs can repeat unless they bring in a whole bunch of new people and do a whole bunch of magnificent things like they did this time. And if Brady can game manage that, that's great. And of course, we're happy that they won because all the black people on the coaching staff. But I still feel like Mahomes is if he does 2/3 of the career of Brady, he's still got 12 years to go. So one loss ain't gonna hurt him. And there's so many people that don't have any rings, and he got one already, and he's been there twice. So
Right.
Yeah,
I think
right.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, Kelsey dropped more than just one pass. I counted 3 crucial drop passes. He might have more than that.
I must be talking about that first one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll drop that one, and Mahomes, he was running for his life, but let's give credits where credit's due. Shout out to Todd Bowles because he called an amazing game plan.
Game of his life.
You know what I'm saying? Amazing game plan. Let's give credit to where credit's due. Like you were saying, you touched on it a little bit, that Bucks coaching staff for the diverse. It's not really diversity. It's like 90% black, that coaching staff.
Yeah. And they got some women too.
And they got 2. Yeah. And one is strength and conditioning, which is I can see a lot of women getting in that field, but one was an assistant D-line coach, which I was very surprised about, and especially how great that D-line was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yep. And then also that Buck coaching staff. So they have Todd Bowles. He was the head coach of the Jets, which was a horrible job when he took it. If he was in the right situation, he probably would have had a better head coaching career and would not have been the defensive coordinator. Brian Leftwich, former quarterback for the Jaguars, he called an amazing game plan because in the beginning of the year, the Bucks looked horrible.
Yeah.
And then he adjusted and made Brady feel comfortable, and it started working. They started dominating. And then another head coaching candidate not a lot of people know about is Keith Armstrong, the special team coach. Before he took that Bucks job, he was getting calls for quite a few teams. But again, it may or may not be the case, but their skin tone is why they probably just get calls and not jobs.
So does do the call stop for Eric Bieniemy?
Yeah, the call stop, and he's getting an extension with the Kansas City.
Yeah, they said he was a bad interview, and then also people are talking for him and saying that why would he leave the Kansas City job, XYZ, yada yada yada. And then also what they're not saying, but I'm pretty sure that they're believing is he still got that he had a domestic violence charge or something that's kind of hanging over his head, even though I think legally, even though legally I think it's all good or whatever it is. But if you're looking for a reason not to get somebody, there it is. Get Andy Reid's son. Hello.
Right.
But
that's that's what I think kind of helped. I think they had that on their mind too. Not the whole team, but it lingered because somebody said that Andy Reid didn't call any plays that game. I don't know if that was true or not, but
he normally doesn't.
But not on defense because his son is the linebacker coach or something like that. And so
so I hope. I mean, with that in that situation, I hope that little girl pulls through and everything is fine. But I think that was on their mind, or at least Andy Reid's mind, a whole lot. So I don't see them going back to the Super Bowl next year either, though, the Chiefs.
Right. So what do you think should happen to the?
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen to what's his name, Brett Reed?
He's going to
get any charges, or he's going to get a slap on the wrist, or the NFL.
He going to jail, man.
He was drinking, and this is not his first offense.
And when they show that little picture of that little girl, man, everybody's heartstrings are pulled at, and it's right here in Kansas City. And low key, I think they are blaming him for their poor play in the Super Bowl around here in Kansas City.
It's a Midwest team. They got super fans.
Yeah. Well, Patrick can never do any wrong though, so No,
he played. Man, he played with heart. He was out there balling, running for his life. The line. It is what it is. Injuries. Saying, but those wide receivers, man, or those other people had to step up with him. Saying the defense did their thing too. There were, saying especially if there was a few questionable calls that went the Bucks' way, and everybody, even the announcers, everybody, even the you know how the NFL, you know how they have like the so-called expert on calls. Even he was saying like, you can't call that. You know what I'm saying?
but it's Carl Cheffers, aka Can't See Carl. Like
Yeah.
he got a rep. Once I had no idea who the refs were, and I always used to at least remember the black refs, and then everybody remembers Hockey League because he had all the muscle and the tight shirts, and he's a lawyer. So he give you the full dissertation of what happened. Like, fool,
What the
just say
call? Yeah.
holding. Just say holding. He's like, so first that happened. And so he does all that. But Carl Cheffers is known for being the worst at calling stuff. And if he does call something, it's basically gonna go by seniority. But also, like, if it's down to the refs, then you already lost the game.
Right.
But if it's in the first quarter, I ain't got nothing for you.
Well, with that, I won't say
it was a record though. It was a record. 8 penalties, 95 yards in the first half against Kansas City. Compared to Tampa Bay in the first half, 1 penalty for 5 yards.
Also,
but that's
though,
where I say I won't say that
defense
they
was crazy.
I won't say they lost the game like that. I would say that calling all those penalties like that back to back, like it was, that takes your momentum out, and that just brings you down. Like, because you feel like no matter what I do, you know, they're gonna call a penalty, and pretty much that's what they did. It seemed like so because a lot of those plays weren't penalties, so I can see how it takes you out of the game, and I think that's what the ref did took them out of the game, man, and they couldn't get back in it on defense anyway.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. They should have got back in it mentally. Like, this ain't your first time in the Super Bowl. You're not a young team. You've been here before. You won it. You know, only thing, it was supposed to be a celebration for the referees because it was the first time ever we had a woman referee for the Super Bowl, and Sarah Thomas. But yeah, everybody's always the talk of the town is that these questionable calls.
Yeah, but that's Carl's fault. That's Carl Cheffers' fault.
Them calls make a difference, man. If you playing a game and they doing it like that, if you in the heat of the battle and they keep stopping you and it's going that way, I mean, what was it, 95, 100 yards or something compared to
95,
12 yard penalty or whatever it was. It's ridiculous, man. That takes you out of the game.
Yeah, it definitely takes your momentum. It definitely, you know what I'm saying? But you're supposed to have like Andy Reid's supposed to be not there. Before the game, everybody's talking about Andy Reid's going to be better than Belichick. Andy Reid's going to be, you know, he automatically solidified his Hall of Fame by winning the one Super Bowl. And they were trying to, but they were about to put him on GOAT status, and then this happened. Like, you got to rally your team back. Like, you can't even score, not even in garbage time. You couldn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, we're too eager to make everything go, everything better, everything. Like, sometimes you just got to let stuff be. And I mean, regardless of what happened, you know, he's still a Hall of Famer. Regardless of what happened, Tom Brady's still the man or the GOAT. So a lot of, regardless of what happens, Pat Mahomes is still on the way. There's so many things that are already set, but we just want to spin narratives. When we find ourselves spinning these narratives, that means we're watching Stephen A. and Max and Skip and Shannon too much, because they get paid. They get paid to recycle the same rubbish. Like, we got options. So sometimes you got to take a step back and just take things for what they are and for face value.
Right. So let's move to something a little lighter. What was your guys' thoughts on the halftime performance by the Weeknd?
It was lit on mute. I was in the background cooking, doing some other stuff, putting the kids to bed. I was like, I don't know what this is. He's either killing it or getting killed. I don't know, but it looked crazy.
So I hate to say this and get thing go D in here, but I'm gonna blame a little bit of that on Jay-Z too.
Oh yeah, he's because
he was in charge
of setting it up. This part of his what the contract with NFL America.
Yeah, so I gotta hold him accountable too, because that was just, I don't know, man, that was just not good.
He should have just done an old school concert and called Freeway and Memphis Bleak or something.
Right. No, I thought we can put on a good performance with the limitations they had. You got to understand, because of COVID, you can't do X, Y, and Z anymore. Like, so every other Super Bowl performance prior to this, you had multiple performers. You know what I'm saying? You was able to have choreography, you be able to practice longer. You was able to get it done right. Now with COVID, you can't do this, you can't do that. All the performers are wearing masks, but it was creative how they were wearing masks.
Let me counter that though. But since there was no fans, he had so much more room to deal with. And I feel like he sang like 7 or 8 songs, and he probably should have done like 3 or 4.
Right.
And I think he would have gotten away with that. But I also heard he spent like $7 million of his own money to make it happen.
He spent his own money on it. Great, I guess it's great advertising. He got some world tour coming up.
Yeah. Now, if you've never heard of him and you liked it, or you just liked all the craziness, they're gonna buy them tickets.
Well, they said his streams went up after that, so I mean, I guess it worked out for him.
Right. So he just basically he gave you the DJ. This is the last 2 minutes before the club closed down. I'm gonna play the weekend sample, you know what I'm saying, and see if you like it, see if you don't. I'm trying to get these world tours tickets going.
Hey, like I said, it was lit on mute. Maybe I was food drunk or whatever.
He said lit on mute.
Made me a little mini spread. You know, we usually do it a little bit bigger, but we was like, yeah, we'll scale down. Then I went to the grocery store and I was like, yeah, we need these. Yeah,
right.
I'll whip these up. This will take nothing. So I overate and I was sitting on the couch like, oh, the weekend.
I did the same thing.
So
no, but I enjoyed the performance. The acoustics was not up to par. It was probably because the stadium was not at capacity or whatnot. But other than that, you know, saying I enjoyed the performance. And
no doubt.
Did you guys catch any of the commercials? Found of any commercials?
I liked I liked the Bud Light one with all the old Bud Light characters coming back. And then there was one more that I liked. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I know what I didn't like, but
I didn't like most of them.
I didn't like the Wayne's World and Cardi B.
I watched that on mute as well, and I was like, "Oh, I need to go back and check that out because it looks stupid." I wanted to make sure.
It was definitely stupid.
Yeah.
Like, she. I mean, to me in the commercial, she looked, or it sounded like she didn't fit in.
She didn't look like she fit in.
It was product placement. They used Cardi B to bring in the new generation, and then Wayne's World to bring in the old generation.
Damn, I'm trying to think which commercial did I like.
Super Bowl commercial.
I can't remember which one I like. You got one, Gio, that you like?
Matthew McConaughey one with the Doritos, the 3D Doritos.
That was okay. I wasn't mad at that. I chuckled a little bit at the one with the dude with the my man from Seinfeld on his shirt. That was okay.
The Thai commercial,
Yeah, I had already seen the Michael B. Jordan commercial on the internet, so I wasn't surprised by that. But that was
I saw that.
Yeah, that was definitely catered to ladies.
Yeah.
I'm already signing up to put my voice on Alexa now.
There you go.
Let me think.
Oh, that's funny.
There was one more I was okay. The Bud Light one I liked. The
I didn't really care for the Shaggy one with
Oh, that was the worst one. Oh my god, that was the worst one.
Oh, the Cheetos one with Shaggy.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that one. I mean, it was good that they brought Shaggy back, but you know.
Yeah. The Chipotle one was kind of heartfelt. You know, you can change the world, the little kid or whatever, but it wasn't. I swear it's one more, but that just tells you how bad they were. Maybe we're too old because, you know.
No, they stopped trying. They stopped trying.
Before they used to put in effort, they better try.
Yeah, no. Before they used to put in effort, it was a thing. There was one commercial. It was on for 5 seconds. I'm like, why do you even waste your money? Because I don't even know what you're trying to sell. TurboTax, like they just kept running the same commercial they had all month long, so that was a waste of time. And then CBS with Paramount, well, the Super Bowl is on CBS, and Paramount Plus is coming out next month, and they're taking over CBS access, but they just kept flooding with that Paramount Plus commercial. It was like, my goodness, like I just want to buy it before you could stop showing the commercial.
Hey,
maybe the Will Ferrell one. Maybe.
Drake
from State Farm. That's the one. Drake from State Farm.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I'll get that.
Yep. So
yeah, that's all. I don't know. I guess that's 3 out of 40.
Yeah. Before it would be like there was only 3 bad ones. Now we're counting. There's only like you can't even count 5 good ones.
I feel like there's somewhere in between though, and I think I'm gonna end up talking about it on the next Word Did I Park. Make sure you check it out. But I feel like maybe we've either gotten too spoiled or we're over it, and like we've run our course with ingenuity and creativity for some of these things. Maybe because everything is so accessible in our hands, or we have to have it right away, or we have to be able to binge it or catch it early. Like, I don't know where the marketing still exists. Are we entertaining and marketing? If we do it early, does the marketing count? Like, are we just doing these things to get the green line to go upwards in our meetings? Like, I don't know what this means.
Well, to be fair, some companies opted out of doing the commercial because of how much it costs, and they said that they would rather pay their workers who are out or whatever. That was their excuse, but you know what I'm saying. But
it sounds good.
It does. It sounds very good. I was like, that was a good PR person. It sounded very good. Right. I bought it.
I will tell you. I did see a trailer, and I was excited about that. Was the Falcon and Winter Soldier?
That was that in the Super Bowl?
I didn't see that one.
That one in The Last Dragon, some new Disney movie. It's called Last Dragon or something like that. That trailer was also premiered at that time too. For if you got little ones like CPI.
Yeah, see, I'm a lightweight comic nerd and a heavy movie buff, so I had already seen the Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. So when I saw it, I was just like, "Yep, already on deck." As soon as WandaVision ends, that's coming on. So,
right.
You watch that WandaVision?
Yep.
Yes, and it's good. It's really good. It's if you're a comic book nerd, it's predictable.
You have to be. If you're invested already in like comics or even just the story of Wanda and Vision, it's playing along perfectly. If not, you probably saw the first 2 episodes and was like, "F this. This sucks."
I haven't watched it yet, so
Well, if you know the story, you'll be fine. If you don't know the story, at least get to episode 4 before you make your decision.
All right, now I'll watch it if y'all say it's good.
Yeah, it's well, we saying it's good because we are comic book nerds.
Yeah,
but I mean, I used to be, but I've seen it and I know what it's about, but I just hadn't watched that part. I
think they're doing a good job.
Okay, I'll check it out then.
And without spoilers, WandaVision, this first season of WandaVision is going to open up a lot of stuff. It's going to make a lot of stuff more available than it was before.
Yes. You know what I would like to see? Well, that's I'll leave that for another topic. But the original Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get
real
that.
But yeah, that's how they did her so dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll have to talk separately on that one.
yeah, that's another day, another show. That's that's a tough one. But moving along, Super Bowl commercial used to be great. Now they're just saying it's like they're not trying anymore, or we're not their audience anymore. We might have been phased out. They're not catering to it.
Like, I wonder if our parents were like, "Man, this commercial sucks. Budweiser, what the hell? Yes, right. I am."
Right.
Like all them joys. I don't know, but I'll be glad when we stop doing them Clydesdales. Them commercials ain't been good for shit ever. I am not here for the doggone Budweiser horses. Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe Pete is coming after me, but like, I don't care about these dumb horses. Whatever.
With all that being said, so Smash, you touched on it earlier. You saying you don't see neither one of these teams making it back. So who are your early picks to make the Super Bowl?
I mean, right now before the draft and everything, I might have to go with the Bills in the AFC and the NFC. Yeah, that'd be all right though.
No, I mean, they lost the offense and defensive coordinator.
I still think they'll be all right because they got. I mean, Diggs is took that team, and the way I just say that really because Diggs, the way he stood on the field after they won, that showed like he wants to be there, so he's going to go into camp or whatever with some type of determination.
They need a decoy. They need Cole Beasley was their other target, but I don't know if he needs to be a third option. They need a second option to take some of the pressure off of Diggs because if he's the one, you know that they're going to be gunning for him. And the way that their offense is set up, if they're throwing the ball past 15 yards, it's going to him. If they're throwing 7, you can hit Cole Beasley. So you need somewhere in the middle to get that 10, that 9 to 11 range, and something that can draw some eyes against him, so that when you do need to send Diggs out for the go route, when you see him one-on-one, you got to hit the hot route on him. You can make it happen. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's like maybe Golden Tate's too old. But it's got to be somebody like that who can be a number 2 to take some eyes off of him.
Well, there's a lot of
agents.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see where Devontae Smith goes.
Right.
I would also say don't sleep on the Browns either, though. I'm not saying that was a fluke this year, but I'm just saying don't sleep on them.
No, the Browns were a fluke.
Go ahead.
The Browns were a fluke.
You think so?
Yeah, they had an easy schedule. That whole division had an easy schedule this year, and all you gotta do is you box up that run game, and they don't got nothing. You're saying Baker Mayfield, when he has no pressure, when the game is not on the line, he puts up stats. But when the game is on the line, you saw what happened in playoffs.
Yeah, but he got him to the playoffs, and
without
we need to. Yeah, well, Odell need to go because Baker has to focus on him when he's on the field. But I'll be interested to see what's going to happen with Pittsburgh in that division, because if Ben is done, they're stuck with Mason Rudolph. Is that him?
Yep.
Yeah, and that means Juju is out on the island that can't be reached.
Another free agent.
Yeah, man, if the Lions could get, never mind. But I think that the Browns might be in good shape just because of aren't the Ravens in that division?
Yep.
Never mind. Yeah, so they waiting on wild cards anyway. So the Browns got to go 9-7 every year and sneak in as a 6th seed. So I'm not ready to call them a fluke, but they're kind of like a renewable scholarship. Scholarships, it says 4 years, but that means every year we're going to check and make sure that, you still get this.
Right.
Yeah. NFC, I can't call it, though.
You can't call it? You're not even going for your Falcons?
Nah, not with a new coach. I gotta fill them out first.
Right.
Plus the champs are in the South already, so.
Nah, don't. Yeah, it only counts until the season start. Then we don't acknowledge it no more.
I hear. No, I have. That's a good question, because I have no idea who's going to come out of the NFC. The Packers are probably going to take the North, which is no surprise. The South is probably up for grabs. Yeah, and then the East, nobody cares about the East, and then we don't know if the West is back yet. Kyler's still flirting around 8-8 until they fire their coach. Russ might be getting kicked out of Seattle.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, but yeah.
49ers seem like they got everything but a quarterback. And
But they
And
lost
then
one
the
of their
Rams.
coaches.
The Rams got Stafford though, so we'll see what happens with that. Even though if you tune in to last week, you can see how I felt about that. So
Right. Don't rehash that old wound.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't talk too much already.
Right. And AFC, I still say Kansas City got another 2 to 3 year run of dominating the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
And then those contracts are going to start kicking in and messing up the team. Because not only they re-signed Mahomes, they did Jones, Merriweather, and somebody else got a big contract out that team.
And
Oh, Kelsey.
The crazy thing is the talent is in the AFC right now. So you got Lamar, even though they got gaps, it's still exciting to watch. The Bills are still good. Tennessee, they still got some action happening. Cleveland, like we just talked about. So there's some things happening. And then if Jacksonville gets Sunshine out of Clemson, then we might be seeing some stuff happen.
And don't sleep on the Patriots. They're going to come back.
Yeah, once they
with Urban Meyer, hey,
Herb like winning now. Trust me, I know. I know. Trust
me. If he don't win, he gonna fake a heart attack again.
Right.
I got no respect for Herb.
I didn't say I respected him. I just said he'd be winning.
He's gonna do the Lawrence Taylor stuff. Start sending night workers to people hotel rooms, saying they failed the COVID test. But the NFC, I want to say the Packers because on paper they have the best. As of now, they have the best talent. But man, Aaron Rodgers is not it though. Aaron Rodgers is not it. He proved his last 2 NFC Championship games. He cost the team a chance to the Super Bowl. And I know everybody says Aaron Rodgers is the greatest. He's even considered as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. But the last 2 games he played against the Bucks, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions. His team lost. And the game before the last NFC Championship game he was in, it was against the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. And Wilson threw 4 interceptions, and somehow he still won.
So the Seahawks one was the onside kick fiasco, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where and then the last game we just praised the Bucks defense, and Tom tried to give that game away so many times. So I don't know. I'm not. Trust me, I'm a NFC as well as you, Gio. We're NFC North, so we know how it works. But I'm not ready to say that he's done. I need him to hang it up before I can say he's done because we've been catching these L's like they're.
Oh, he's good at beating us up. Yeah, he's good. He's the best quarterback playing us. But when it matters, that's all. Hey, you can't be considered the greatest, or you can't be considered one of the elites or top, or one of the best of all times if you don't win the big games. Like Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl. Even though he threw 100 yards, he won the Super Bowl.
No, Von Miller won the Super Bowl against Mike Remmers.
Oh, that's not what history is going to say. History is going to say Peyton Manning got 2 Super Bowl rings.
They're going to say that just so they can be nice to Eli. But if everybody remembers that safety at the beginning of the game, and then they remember, that was the Super Bowl before that. But then they remember Von Miller putting Mike Remmers on skates. I want y'all to look that up tonight. Von Miller, right. Mike Remmers, and then look up Shaq Barrett, Mike Remmers, and he gonna be on the same skate.
Right, man. Von Miller don't get enough credit because before that game, he gave Tom Brady a concussion because Tom Brady was lost. He didn't know where he was at in that New England game.
He looked like he was at his Super Bowl party today.
Yeah.
Same way, except he was still on the field the last time.
Right. They'll say offensive line holding him up.
Right. No, but if you look at the NFC, though, you've got Rodgers. We're going to say you got Stafford in the West. But then in the South, it's Tom. And
Breeze.
Now Breeze gone.
Did he retire?
Yeah. He should.
He about to. So if it's not Jameis, it's Taysom or whoever. And then in the East, you got Dak, maybe.
They got nobody in the East.
I saw something that said he might be coming back. Breeze.
Or you got Jalen. He ain't coming back, but you got Jalen Hurts maybe in for Philly. So either way, Rodgers is the best one out of all of them. And if Jones plays ball again, I don't know. So he's probably going back, or at
Who knows,
least getting in.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, or at least getting to the NFC Championship.
Right. Yeah. The Green Bay definitely gonna get to the championship game, but I think whoever is gonna make it is gonna upset the Packers again because Aaron Rodgers is not that dude.
I'm not mad at you for saying that, but I think we just need to see it to believe it.
Right.
I got to see who everybody draft first in the free agent pickups.
God, I hope we draft a quarterback. I hate Jericho.
Because they talking nonsense. A rumor that and I'll stop being a Falcons fan if they pick up Trubisky from the Bears.
Trubisky's not a bad quarterback.
I'll be a free agent as a fan.
I can't believe if Russell Wilson gets on the trading block and we done put all our chips in Jared Goff, I quit the Lions. I quit the Lions every week. I quit them for real.
Right.
You'll be a free agent with me.
I can't quit. I already quit my team, the Bears. But I'll will not recognize them as a football team if they trade for Carl Wentz.
Carl Wentz.
You think Trubisky's better than Wentz?
Yes.
No,
I'm not a fan of Trubisky. I'm not a fan of Trubisky. The reason why I say Trubisky gives the Bears the best chance to win, and I do talk about it on the Chicago edition of Ballas Union, is because the locker room, for whatever reason, love Mitch Trubisky. And if you know football, you know you need to have that locker room present. You need to have that chemistry, and they'll go out there and fight for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, Wentz, you know what I'm saying, with his MVP season, the locker room didn't even like him. They didn't want him to start. You know what I'm saying? They got a statue of Nick Foles and not him.
Nick Foles won the game.
You know what I'm saying? And that's who they said. And they played for Nick Foles. When Wentz was out there, they're like, we ain't catching no balls. We ain't blocking. We just going to get burnt on defense. Like, they didn't even show up. But when Nick Foles go out there, for some reason, they play their hardest.
Damn.
Yeah, that's real.
That's messed up. But I understand.
Yeah. So, getting close. We're getting to the 2-minute warning. Smash, you got any closing remarks?
Yeah, man. Just looking forward to what the football world got to bring. Basketball is ongoing right now, so we'll see. I'm in agreement with LeBron on that with no All-Star game. So if you ain't got the fans, well, I had an All-Star game. So hopefully they'll work that out. And another issue that they didn't bring that we didn't talk about today, but I stand with Mark Cuban on not playing the national anthem. But I heard that they making all of them play it anyway. So
yep,
it's a mute point now. But yeah, that's all I had. I got it off my chest.
Right. CP, your thoughts?
So Calvin Johnson is a Hall of Famer, first ballot. Respect Megatron. And he's even trying to piece things up with the Lions, which is cool. Also, he's not piecing it up with the people that had beef with him. He's piecing it up with the new administration. So maybe this version of the Ford family doesn't suck as much. I don't know. We'll see. It is what it is. All I know is my dog Calvin Johnson is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I saw a funny meme that said Calvin Johnson got drafted, played a Hall of Fame career, retired, and made it into Canton, all during Tom Brady's career. That's crazy. That's just nuts. And it's all accurate. So good day for Lions fans, even though, we get the bad rap for wasting Barry and Calvin. I'm not going to throw Stafford into that bunch because you already know how I feel about that. But congratulations to Calvin Johnson. Second biggest news of the week. The first biggest is High C Orange is coming back to McDonald's.
Oh my goodness, you another one?
It is back Last week was NCAA football coming back to video games. This week, High C Orange. I don't know what's going to come next week, but I'm here for it. Let's go 2021.
Blockbusters coming back.
Hey, if I'll rent something just off of GP. Just like, hey, I'm back. And I'm going to return it Friday at 11:59 like I used to.
Hey, they could come back for games, though. I go rent some games.
Well, you know, when the stock boom hit last week, somebody still had some Blockbuster stock out there selling. I wasn't going to buy it. And I'm nobody's financial advisor, but I hope y'all doing something with y'all pennies, because there's a couple things out here you can get that'll either give you some lunch money or help you retire a little bit easier. That's all I'm gonna say, because I am nobody's advisor.
Right, Tesla just bought 1.5 billion shares of Bitcoin, and you could use Bitcoin to buy a Tesla now. So but
there's more than one way to get that generational wealth. But before you get to generational wealth, just make sure you can get through your generation first. That's a message, but that's a where did I park? My bad.
That was
right.
I caught it.
Yep. Just to piggyback off Smash, you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing it back to the military. Piggyback about the national anthem. I definitely agree with that. Well, a lot of fans or consumers don't know is that the military give millions of dollars to the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, MLS for the national anthems, for flyovers, for honoring vets, for honoring service members. And it's part of their marketing tool. It's part of their one of the tools they use for recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and at the end of the day, that's taxpayers' money. We're giving a $1 billion organization money just to honor vets when you should have just done that already. But I digress.
The same vets that they won't hire.
Right.
This is true.
So yeah, I'm all for not having a national anthem because I'll say 80%, 70% of the crowd disrespected anyways. And not in the way as Kaepernick disrespecting it. Kaepernick never disrespected it because he was taking the knees, not disrespecting it, but talking, walking around, moving around. I find that highly offensive.
True. Yeah. Or screaming, "Whoa, America!"
Most people don't know the words anyway, so.
Right. Or, you know, wearing the flag is also disrespectful, but you know, I digress.
I got one more thing to say. Sorry. It's Black History Month. Learn something. I'm not going to go into a big thing. Just learn something. If you didn't know it before, find it out. Teach somebody else. Figure out what you do know. Teach somebody that. Learn something from somebody else. Spread it. Learn it. Adapt it. Bring it into your life. That's the only way Black History Month can go 12 months out of the year.
Right. And just, oh man, I'm from Chicago, so I know about this story. We grew up about hearing this story about Fred Hampton. Now HBO and Warner Brothers got a movie coming out, Judas and the Black Messiah. I encourage everybody to go check it out. This young man was taken way too early. And man, he was a pioneer, man. He was a pioneer. He was great. And he was just taken way too early, man.
Yeah, I'll be watching that.
Absolutely. There's a lot of man. Let me stop before I start. But
right.
Learn something, whether it's through the movie or just learn something. Come into March better than you came into February. And then figure out how you can do that for the rest of the year, especially if you're raising kids, especially if you have an influence over Black people, if you have any type of involvement, if you call yourself an ally, whatever you do, like just learn something and spread that message, because there's so many different avenues. It's so easy to just hit us with the Malcolm, Martin, Rosa, Frederick, Harriet, you get it. But like, figure out what you do for a living and see who Black did that, or who started your industry, or who was the first person to do it in your industry. Figure out what your kids are interested in and see how you can relate to them, whether it's sports, whether like my kid, he loves baseball. So obviously I can go to Jackie Robinson, or I can introduce him into the Negro Leagues. All those things. Figure out if it's technology, figure out if it's, NASA. Shout out to Ronald McNair, graduate of North Carolina A&T State University, and also a member of Omega Psi Phi, since we're talking. But like, just figure out what you do in your life and figure out how you can relate that to the things that you do. That's the easiest way to spread Black history, because Black history is our history, and our history is still being written as we live in the present. So really just take advantage of what you're doing, and just make the best out of this, and turn your February into every day.
Right,
I think
right.
that's cut me off
Yep.
before I start.
Yep. So yeah, remember the name Fred Hampton, and I'll drop another name, Jerry Lawson.
Ooh, yeah, let's go video games.
Yep. And on that, we're out.
Peace.